Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. This is my second video for today. My first one was about Erik Pieters, a 36-year-old defender which Luton have signed on a free transfer. He's most likely going to feature in this game tomorrow against Derby, but that was my first video of today. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out, drop a like, leave your thoughts in the comments, and then come back to this one and listen to my thoughts on this upcoming game against Derby. What do I think is going to happen? Well, honestly, I don't know anymore. I have watched the press conference with Rob Edwards. I wanted to know what he was feeling going into this game. And straight away, the first question was about the available players that will be playing in it. And he just laughed because we are yet again a couple of players down. Walsh, of course, is suspended. He's probably out. I think he's out for 4 games due to that red card he got against Blackburn. And also Hashi has picked up a muscle strain, which is just frustrating because our defenders just can't keep fit. Honestly, it's not bad luck anymore. There's something really wrong about this. It can't just be bad luck. It has to be more. We've got to be doing something wrong. I don't believe that it's actually, bad luck. I'm getting really frustrated with it. And I'm also getting really fed up of playing players out of position, because it's just going to keep continuing unless we address this issue. So I don't know how we're going to address it. I don't know when we're going to address it, but it's something we've got to look at. But that's why Erik Pieters actually signed, because we picked up another injury. But the one thing which I do want to address before going into a tactical look of the Derby game, Tom Lockyer was set to return. But guess what? He's picked up an injury. Nothing to do with his heart, cardiac is all good. It's actually his ankle. He rolled his ankle in training. It sounds like it was a freak accident, and he rolled on it after clearing the ball. He's had surgery, so looks like he's going to be out for some time, and that's why we've of course signed Erik Pieters as well. So look, there's no luck in our defence, and how we're going to set up is probably still going to be with 3 centre-halves. What I got from the press conference was that Mans Andersen, who is someone that's broken down a few times since we've signed him and has picked up some long-term injuries, is actually available. He's available to start from minute 1. So I actually think Luton are going to set up in a back 3 of Holmes, McGuinness and Mans Andersen. Not the quickest defence with Chong and also Moses as the wing-backs. And if I'm Derby, and if I'm the manager of Derby, I would honestly play the same starting 11 that played against Portsmouth. If Derby set up that way, they win the game, in my opinion. However, I think Derby are going to be quite cautious. And the reason why is because away from home, they do set up differently. Now, I don't know how they're going to set up, because Derby do change all the time. They've played multiple formations since the start of the season. They literally adapt to who they're playing against. I've seen them play a 4-3-3. I've seen them play a 4-2-3-1. They could easily play a 4-4-2 if they really wanted to. They've played with 3 centre-halves. They've played a 4-1-4-1. They just change all the time. Now, away from home, as I've already mentioned, they do it more often, and they may match us with the 3 centre-halves. They shouldn't do that, and I hope they do that, because it will go in our favour a little bit. But the game which I watched last week, where they beat Portsmouth 4-0, I thought Derby were absolutely brilliant. It could have been more than 4 goals. It could have been 5 or 6. They used their wide players extremely well. Mendes-Lang was absolutely brilliant. He uses his energy, his pace, his skills to create openings. They flood the box with players. They put balls into the box. Set pieces they're extremely good at. One of the best sides in the league at set pieces alongside us. It's literally the set piece FC Derby, basically. Defense, they also defend set pieces extremely well. They defended actually extremely well against Portsmouth. Portsmouth just didn't look good whatsoever. And if Derby set up exactly like that with the same starting 11, they will cause us all sorts of problems. Now, one of their centre-halves is out injured for this game, goes by the name of Cashin. Really good young centre-half who's, I think, having a really good season. I think Derby are safe. I think they've got enough championship experience to keep them up in this division. I also feel like that would be a good season. I know a lot of Derby fans, they expect more. You know, Derby are a big club, but, you know, small progress, small steps, and then eventually you can start competing at the right end of the championship table. You do have a manager who knows the championship, been relegated from the championship, so I can imagine keeping for the season. Things might not be the greatest away from home, where they've only picked up 7 points, but at home you're winning a lot of games from football. Talking about home form, Luton's home form is what's keeping us away from those bottom 3 places. We are arguably one of the better sides at home, especially more recently. I think Edwards mentioned in our last 9 games we've picked up 18 points at home. We have got lucky on a few occasions, but look, we've managed to get the wins. We've managed to do it. But if we're not going to be picking up points away from home, we're putting more pressure on us at home to get the points. And there is a lot of pressure going into this game, because after it, we've got Bristol City away from home and also Swansea. And if we carry on the way we're doing, it's most likely we're not going to pick up points. And then we've got, what, is it 5 games in 20 days or whatever this is, with a massive injury crisis at the back. You know, there's not a lot of confidence in this Luton camp. There really isn't. And honestly, I don't know how we're going to score against Derby. I really don't, because I feel like we're just going to set up the same way. And that for me is the problem. I would personally, I can't see Edwards moving away from the back 5. We won't be playing a back 4. I'd be absolutely shocked if we play a back 4. But I can imagine the starting 11's going to be Thomas in goal. We've got either Moses or Chong right wing back. Centre halves, Holmes, McGuinness and Anderson. And then Chong or Moses on the other side. In that midfield, I would move it to a 3-man midfield. The 2-man in midfield just does not work. Krause and Clark are not the right 2. If you're going to play a 2-man midfield, you need one defensive-minded that is very disciplined at being defensive-minded. And then you need an attacking-minded one who creates opportunities. I personally would rather have a 3. So I would go with Clark, Krause and Nakamba as my midfield 3. I would ideally want Pelly to start with and give us a bit of energy in the midfield, but I can't see it happening, if I'm being honest with you. And then the striker partnership. Now, I highlighted this yesterday, that I felt Morris and Elijah Adebayo, if we're not going to put crosses into the box, and we are ranked 16th in the championship at crosses into the box from open play, then there's no point playing Morris and Elijah Adebayo, because they're very similar strikers. I think they're both target men. Some people may disagree with me on that, but they're very similar. So I think you either play Morris or Elijah, or Woodrow or Taylor. That's how I think it should be. In fact, you can throw Brown's name in there, but then again, Brown I also think is a target man type of striker. So this is the issue which we've got. Because we're not putting crosses into the box, we're not playing to the strengths of our strikers. And if you look at the year we got promoted from the Championship to the Prem, literally watch the goals from March to the end of the season. They all come from set pieces or from crosses into the box. And we're not doing it. We're not doing it at all. So we've got to change it up a little bit. We've got to show something different. But are we going to do that? I don't know. I sound like a broken record. What I'm thinking of doing is actually recording this little segment and then just keep replaying it every time we keep doing it. I don't know if that would work, but I might try it out. But I'm sick and tired of keeping repeating myself. If we're not going to change personnel, we're going to keep expecting the same thing. How do I think we're going to score against Derby? Through Derby. And what I mean by that is through their mistakes. If they change their system to match us, I think we win. If they, you know, do like a dodgy back pass, I feel like we'll take full advantage of that. I don't see us scoring from set pieces because they're really good at defending them. They also have their own way of scoring set pieces themselves. But like I say, I think the game, it all depends on how Derby set up. If they set up the way I think they're set up, which will be to match us, I think we win. If they go with a very ambitious, positive game plan, I think they win. That's how I see it. Or it could be a boring 0-0. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Until we start showing something different, I can't tell you something different. We're just doing the same at the moment, which is frustrating. But yeah, that is the end. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that, and I'll see you in my match reaction after the game against Derby.